This episode was recorded a few weeks ago, therefore the news is slightly outdated. Everything in it is still true, however we talk about things as if they are going to happen, even though as the time that this is releasing, they already have happened.
Hello everyone, I'm Pawzy Puppy.
And I'm K-Dog.
And welcome back to the Pokesino Club podcast, episode 15. K-Dog, what's new with you?
I have a friend that lives across the street. He has an older sister and a younger sister.
Alright.
And his older sister is like 21 or something. I don't know. And she would collect Pokemon when she was younger.
Oh boy.
And I guess she had some really rare cards, because when me and him would hang out and I'd talk about Pokemon a little bit, he'd be like, oh yeah, my sister used to collect Pokemon and she had this binder full of, I think, like this set called Base Set or something. I don't know. And she had some like really cool looking cards, I think valuable ones. I'm like, dude, can we go to your house and like try and find those? And he's like, nah, I think my mom threw them all out.
No!
And then I was texting him earlier and he said, oh yeah, by the way, it's confirmed that I had a PSA 10 Charizard. And I'm like, yo, that's really dope. And then he's like, yeah, but then my sister lost it.
What?
So now I'm half tempted after this podcast to just go over to his house and begin a giant search.
Dedication, though. Like, it'd be worth it to get that card back.
What if we found it and we sold it and he split the money with me?
That would be epic.
But I think that's new. That's all that's new with me. How about you?
Well, I think last weekend, like a week ago I went to a new card shop near me. It's pretty, like, brand new. It's run by, like, only one guy.
Oh, cool.
The shop has got all sorts of, like, really cool things. It had boxes, like Blastoise VMAX, Venusaur VMAX boxes. They had Sylveon V Celebrations boxes.
Oh, cool.
There were Pokeball tins. There were a bunch of singles. There were some cool packs. And the best thing about, like, the packs and boxes is they were all exactly MSRP. So packs were all $4, all of them.
What?
No matter what pack it was. There were Sword and Shield base for $4.
Wow.
Yeah. It was pretty cool. And then there were these boxes along, like, a back wall, and it said Pokemon commons, Pokemon uncommons, Pokemon hollows, Pokemon rare, Pokemon hollow rare. And there were just these boxes full of single cards. And I was combing through that uncommons box like there was no tomorrow, because I need Fates Collide uncommons, and I managed to get 3 new cards from Fates Collide.
Yo, that's awesome, dude.
Yeah, and I think I already told you this, but I got 3 cards from Rebel Clash that you don't have.
Oh boy. I was talking with a couple of other club members, and they are really trying to trade with me. Like, they'll be like, okay, what starters do you have that's up for trade? So I pulled out all my starters, and I'm like, I don't really want to trade my Pikachu, but I have these, like, package deals and everything, but anyways.
And so the other thing I ended up buying was a luxury ball.
Oh, I bet it was really luxurious.
Oh my gosh. It's basically just like a normal Pokeball tin with 3 packs and a coin. But inside, the packs I got were Cosmic Eclipse, Rebel Clash, and Vivid Voltage. And so I opened the Vivid Voltage pack first, and I was like, oh, I'll maybe I'll save the Rebel Clash pack for last, and then K-Dog will freak out because I like
you would have killed me.
Yeah, because it's like the,
I would just skip past the cosmic eclipse.
I would just, and like, oh, could you imagine what are the chances that, like, the only Ultra I get is in the Rebel Clash pack?
Oh, boy.
And so I open the Vivid Voltage pack. Nothing good, but I mean, like, it's Vivid Voltage and it's pretty cool. Then,
Right.
I was like, I'll just save Cosmic Eclipse for last because it's like an older set. I open Rebel Clash and I get a Toxtricity VMAX full art. And the cool thing about that shop is I can sell. They buy single cards or like they buy bulk extras.
Cool.
And so I kind of want to sell like the majority of my duplicates there instead of online because TCG Player is, I'll admit, it's pretty bad. It keeps automatically hiding my inventory so nobody can see my cards. So I'm thinking about just like taking it all down. And so
that'd be smart because then it'd be easier to sell your cards, right?
Yes, I could just sell them to the actual stops the actual shops that'll pay me up front instead of, TCG Player, which people have to find me on. So I'm probably gonna go down there and sell some of my cards sometime. Like, I'm going to take down the TCG Player inventory so you can no longer find me at Pawzy Puppy Cards on TCG Player. I don't think anything else is new with me. Oh, I took a trip down to a thrift store. The one you got your Snorlax.
Thrifty-mon?
Yes, I didn't do a Thrifty-mon video. Got a little, 10-card Pokemon pack. It had a code card. It had some older cards in it, like some Sun.
Oh, what was the code card?
I don't know. I think it was like Chilling Rain. Yeah, but I think that's it for me.
Would you like to move into our TCG Live beta news?
Sure, I'll start. The Pokemon Company announced that it will be hosting a limited beta for TCG Live. TCG Live will be available on PC, Mac OS, iOS, and Android. It will replace the Pokemon TCG Online. TCGO servers will be shut down before TCG Live's full release.
While the official release has not been said, Canadian players can participate in upcoming beta tests later this month. On February 22nd, 2022, Canadian players can get the limited beta on mobile devices and the App Store and Google Play. They can also get it on Windows PC and Mac OS. They'll be able to enjoy cross-platform play during the testing period. Lucky Canadian players.
Progress from the limited beta will be transferred over to the full release, and players will have the option of migrating their PTCGO collection to the new game. TCG Live will also feature cross-save, a feature that allows players to use their desktops or mobile devices interchangeably and continue building the same collection of cards.
If the developers are already committing to save data carrying over, we can be hopeful that the full release isn't far around the corner.
An unlisted video by the official Pokemon YouTube channel shows a little gameplay. This video will be linked in the description of the podcast. For those who can't or don't want to watch it currently, here's a brief transcription of what's happening in the video.
At the beginning, it shows a few seconds of gameplay, which looks stunning, and it cuts to a cool-looking TCG Live logo.
Then it displays some Brilliant Stars packs and then some cards from the set. This gives us a look at things like Mimikyu VMAX, which I am extremely excited for, Kingler V, Charizard V,
of course,
Honchkrow V, Umbreon VMAX, and more.
Some text on the screen says, play anywhere with mobile and desktop, then cuts to more gameplay.
After that, it ends saying your adventure awaits. Available only in Canada, February 22nd, 2022. What do you think about this whole TCG Live beta test?
For our listeners in Canada, if we do have any, get this beta on February 22nd.
Yeah, how about this? If anybody is listening in Canada, why don't you test out the beta when it releases and then email us saying what it was like, your thoughts and opinions. we'll read any emails that we get from Canada, even though I don't think we have any Canadian listeners at this time.
Yeah, and maybe even send us a screen recording, like just a couple seconds.
Yeah, like or just tell us what you thought of it. Send a picture or two.
Yeah.
You don't have to send pictures and videos or anything at all. Just tell us what you think about it.
Yeah, we would really like it. I like how they're doing beta, like...
Yeah, but...
Sometimes for games, like when they release, you're like, oh my gosh, this game is going to be amazing! And then you play it and you're like, this is dog water.
Yeah, so it gives people a chance to test it out, give their opinions so they can, tweak
find fixes, find like some things that are wrong with it.
Yeah. I am not in any way hating on Canada, but I want to know why Canada.
Yeah, me too. That's why I was wondering, like, why Canada?
You would...
I love Canada, don't get me wrong. Right. I spent one of my favorite weeks of my life there. But, like, why Canada? Like,
with the theme of, like, Pokemon being started and centered in, like, Japan, that's where all the games get their first releases. Like, all the games are released earlier there. Even the sets are released earlier there.
Yeah.
But I'm just curious why it's just the first beta test is in Canada.
Email us your thoughts.
Yeah, if you know Canada? Or if you have an opinion or an idea of why it's Canada, why they're beta testing in there, just let us know. Shoot us an email. We'll reply.
Yeah.
I think this has potential, like TCG Live has potential to be the next really big thing, and I'm extremely, extremely excited for this. I cannot wait to play. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to basically just cut my code cards in half, and I'm going to use some on the TCGO. I'm going to open some on the TCGO. Or no, I'm going to cut it in half. Half I will scan in or put in
I thought you meant like you take scissors and you're like, zip.
No. So I'm going to split my collection of code cards in half. I'm going to take half of them and scan them into the TCGO, and half of them and save them for TCG Live. But then, with the half that I scanned into the TCGO, I'm going to open half of them, but I'm going to keep half of them sealed, so then I can get some crystals.
And you get crystals!
Yeah, if you don't know what crystals are, or if you don't know much about TCG Live, I suggest you listen back to episode 13 and episode 1. I don't often recommend people listen to episode 1. If you're willing to withstand it, it's.
And I didn't have a mic.
Yeah, it kind of sound like this the whole time. It's just. An okay, dog.
And then, Pokemon slips away,
That's exactly what you sounded like. Pokemon is one of those things. Pokemon has kind of been seeping away from me,
So don't give us hate comments on episode 1.
Right.
I'm new to this thing.
I was too. Listen to episode 13 and episode 1 if you want to hear more about TCG Live. 13 is especially recommended because that's the most recent one. It was only 2 episodes ago, and we talk all about how collections are going to transfer over and the different currencies, one of which is crystals, which you can get from having sealed packs and transferring your account from the TCGO to TCG Live. And so I'm just going to save some sealed packs and just get some easy crystals when it releases, like, the full version.
Yeah, right.
Mm-hmm.
Because then, what if... Hey, Brilliant Stars will be out. Buy some Brilliant Stars packs.
I will, yeah. I'm going to save up for digital Brilliant Stars packs, because... we, speculated...
There's some cool cards in there.
There are! I really want that Mimikyu VMAX.
There's this really cute SQ.
Oh, I never, ever really see IceQ in the TCG.
I know, right? Like, the last time, pretty much, SQ was out was Rebel Clash.
Mm-hmm. next in our news, we have news from an article. We will quote this from Kotaku.com. K-Dog, why don't you start it off? This is about a very special thing that was found relating to the base set.
While there have been many expensive and individual Pokemon cards going up for sale lately, even some boxes of cards in an upcoming auction will be listing something far more interesting. A whole sheet of Pokemon cards that never made it to a packet in the first place.
As Dicebreaker reports, the sheet contains 99 cards and was part of Pokemon's first ever Western release back in the late 20th century. It's not a bad selection among the 99 either. There are all 16 holo cards, including Charizard and Blastoise, and a ton of Mews as well.
There are also 32 Machamps. That's a lot of Machamp.
What do you think about this? An entire sheet.
It's crazy, dude.
Base set cards.
It's crazy.
Uncut.
Like,
some other things that the article says is that you could theoretically cut these up yourself and turn them into 99 old cards.
But wouldn't it be cool to frame it and just have it hanging on your wall, and somebody comes in like, what the heck is that? And you're like, oh, yeah, it's something that I won at an auction. It's base set cards uncut. It's a sheet of 99 cards of uncut cards.
The article also says it's a rare insight into the kind of percentage generation that goes into card creation. Like every time you open a packet of Pokemon cards, what are the odds you're going to get Pikachu and not, say, Machamp? Going by this sheet's breakdown, you are going to get Machamps.
Yeah.
It also says this is some real behind the scenes stuff. There's text at the very top of the sheet that says OK for color plus FIT 11/30/98 7:25 a.m., suggesting it was a test run while also showing it dates all the way back to November 1998.
Wow.
A couple months ahead of the game's wider release in the United States, making this something of a Pokemon historical relic. Especially since it had been displayed on the wall of the office of the CEO of Wizards of the Coast, the company making the cards in the U.S.
My gosh, that is crazy.
Bidding on the cards is currently $34,000 with 10 days left on the auction.
Oh my! How much do you want to bet that's gonna reach the 100,000s?
I don't know. I want to check back on this next podcast episode. I will
See what you can find.
I'll keep looking. Yeah, see what I can find. We'll get back to you guys. See how much it actually sold for.
Yeah.
But if you look at this image, it is okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 Hitmonchan. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 Ninetales. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 Gyarados. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 Mewtwo. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32 Machamps. Another Mewtwo, a Zapdos, Blastoise, Raichu, Poliwrath, Hitmonchan. Is that Poliwrath or that's Poliwrath? Yeah. Okay. Poliwrath, Hitmonchan, Ninetales, Magneton, Raichu, Chansey, Gyarados, Venusaur, Mewtwo, Charizard, Alakazam, Blastoise, Chansey, Clefairy, Charizard, Hitmonchan, Blastoise, Chansey, Zapdos, Gyarados, Nidoking, looks like, Poliwrath, Venusaur, Zapdos, Ninetales, Clefairy, Raichu, Magneton, Venusaur, Alakazam, and Nidoking.
Woo! That is honestly crazy that they're selling it. It's crazy that they're auctioning it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
I mean, it's not really doing anything for the current holder
right
now, but it'll make them money, like a lot of money when they sell it. It's already going for $34,000. $34,000
What? Do you know the starting
for
price?
a piece of cardstock.
For a giant piece of cardboard.
Less than $1. But this one is old and special, so it's $34K.
My gosh.
What has the world come to?
For real, though.
We're buying pieces of cardstock paper for
Okay, we say that.
$34,000.
We say that, and then we go and buy $20 pieces of cardboard.
Right.
We are
You
being
have
giant
a
hypocrites.
point. Yeah, I know. I also sell cards for that much.
Yeah, for real though.
I sold like $100 Evolutions Charizard when it was like super expensive. It's half that price now.
Wow.
Today's card of the day is Base Set Machamp. Who could have guessed? There's 32 of these on the uncut Pokemon sheet. It has 100 HP and has the Pokemon power, aka ability, Strikes Back. Whenever your opponent's attack damages Machamp, even if it's knocked out, this power does 10 damage to the attacking Pokemon. This power can't be used if Machamp is already asleep, confused, or paralyzed when your Pokemon attacks. So the wording, again, it's like an older, one of the oldest cards.
Yeah.
It's one of the oldest cards, so the wording is a little different and kind of confusing.
Honestly, if it were like present day and they made this card, I bet it'd be like half those words.
Exactly. It would be...
You can't use this thing if your Pokemon has a special condition.
Whenever this Pokemon is damaged by an opponent's attack, deal 10 or put 1 damage counter on the defending Pokemon. This ability can't be used if this Pokemon is affected by a special condition. I think that's like a third of the words.
Yeah, right.
What's the attack? K-Dog?
The attack is Seismic Toss for 3 fighting energy and 1 of any energy, and it does 60 damage.
Its retreat cost is 3 energy, and its weakness is psychic energy. It doesn't say psychic times 2, psychic, plus 30. It's weak to psychic. I'm assuming back then it was just a unwritten rule, or maybe it was written somewhere, that it's, it does double damage if it's weak.
Right.
But it just says weakness psychic. What do you think battle-wise?
I mean, I would use it as just to get a couple extra hits, but I wouldn't, base a deck around it. Heck, I wouldn't even use this card in a deck at all. I think I'd just put it in a sleeve in a top loader. Try and sell it,
Maybe, PSA grade it, or
right,
TGC,
of course.
Just card grade it.
Yeah.
I think looks-wise, it looks pretty cool. It is the original Ken Sugimori art, and I love those.
Yeah.
And it's just a really old card. The app I have does not have a price, like a market price for it, so I will check a different one real quick. Okay, so first edition Shadowless Hollow is... I can't find a pricing for it because the only card shop, or the only things that are selling it that I can find readily available have it damaged condition, and so that's not a very accurate pricing because
what's it looking around though?
What?
What is the price?
Damaged is about $42 for a damaged Machamp.
So I'd say it's around a couple $100.
Yeah, definitely, because it's a base set holo.
Right.
Especially if it's first edition. The Hitmonchan from that set, first edition Shadowless, is $324.
Wow.
The first edition Shadowless Magneton is $300. So I'd say $200, $300 is a safe bet for first edition Shadowless.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah. Anyways, that is going to do it for today's episode of the Pokesino Club podcast. I'm Pawzy Puppy. You can find me at youtube.com/Pawzy Puppy.
I'm K-Dog. You can find me sometimes featured on his channel, but not anywhere else yet.
Any articles or images used in the podcast will be linked in the description. And if you would like to email the show, you can send us an email at podcast@pokesino.club. Remember, if there's any Canadian listeners, you can email us once you test out the beta.
Remember, the beta is only on February 22nd.
Well, if after it, you can still play it after that, but it starts on the 22nd.
Yeah, starts.
And any listeners, email us why you think the Pokemon Company chose Canada, or if you know for certain why they chose Canada to do the beta testing. Let us know, because we're curious and we'd like to hear why they chose that.
Thank you for listening.
May Pokesino be with you.